That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take your girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at teach, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass be poking. Sitting in front, cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.
That's why I can't bring a white girl home.
Because of family.
There's no way I'm walking in my grandmother's house with a white chick. Sorry. Now, shorties.
My grandmother said if they can't use your comb, don't bring them home.
I'll fuck you all day. Don't expect to meet my mom. I told you about the time my mom caught the white girl in my bed?
No.
What did she say? So I wasn't fucking her. Yet. She slept in my bed. She was naked. I didn't take advantage of her for whatever reason. We worked together. I didn't go the route with her. I knew her for a while. I think her name was Jamie or some shit like that. We're knocked out. My mother comes walking in the house. I don't know how the hell she gets in the apartment. She walks in. The white girl jumps out the bed, titties out. I'm asleep. All I hear is, Sakai, get that skeleton out my house.
Wow.
Yo.
What do you do with
What'd you say? This is my coworker.
I would have been done for weeks. I wouldn't be able to stop laughing for
Yo,
weeks.
skeleton goes crazy.
How do you come up with that?
Because she white and your bones is white.
Oh my god.
No, but she was skinny.
Damn, that's even worse.
She was skinny.
So that's how it looked to your mother?
I guess. But
It's
why
so
would
funny
you say that in
Like,
front of her?
can you imagine if your mother saw her
is
like as if she
my
like popped up like Tales from the Crypt?
room.
Remember Tales from the Crypt when that nigga came up out the fucking
That's exactly how she looked. That's exactly how she looked. I look over and she's leaning up. My mom yells in the crib. I look over. She's like, oh. Wow. I'm not lying. Ask her. Melly always trying to prove me lying. How do you know if you were asleep? Like, yo, I'm telling the story. This is a real story.
Yo, I'm fucking weak. Yo, my father.
I'll never forget that.
Oh, my father would have a fucking fit.
I'll never forget that.
What?
What a fucking moment.
My father, his Dr. Sabi ass. What?
I want to take this time off of the skeleton. Let's talk. Let's introduce our guest. This young lady is a miracle worker, and honestly, I underestimated you. To be clear, no, I'm seriously, and I'm dead serious. I have Ask Miss Cassandra next to me. She's actually my life coach, relationship coach. So I call her. I speak to her about tons of things, and we're actually doing an event this week coming February 10th with Align with Allison,
Siobhan
Davis, and Ask Miss Cassandra.
Wait, and Cheyenne too?
No,
Nigga,
oh.
please, okay? Why would you? Don't bring.
He said it.
No, it was a. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Don't start this shit
What's up,
today.
Cheyenne? What's up? Don't just. He listens.
Okay.
Even though I want to bring him back. You think
I'm down to bring him back.
Last time.
you want him and Mr. Let Go to sit?
I want them to go at it.
He wants them to argue with each other.
Oh my goodness.
This
I'm
is
not
just
coming.
nonsense shooting at nonsense. Nah, but Mr. Let Go is actually making a lot of sense lately. I don't know if he's been reading.
Yo, what happened? It was like a brand change or something?
I don't know what's going on. It's kind of
Somebody got-
scary.
like.
No,
scary.
like we was at the live show. He did better than me at the live show. He was talking mad. I was sitting there like this. Wow, like seriously.
He wasn't screaming at women as children?
He's kicked ass,
Like, he
and
was
then he
totally
takes me
different.
backstage and is like, "Yo, this is what you did wrong." I was sitting there like, "Really?" But ask Miss Cassandra.
Yes.
The reason I said that I underestimated you is because I've been to two therapists before you. I didn't really enjoy the experience. It is a lot, for me, a lot of, how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? You know, it's just like,
Generic.
bro, like, what are you doing? What are we doing? I have an hour. Get to it. You cut this shit off in 59 minutes.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the screen goes dark. Like, they just click. All right, bye. See you.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
All of this thinking and
Quick
listening
on
to
the
you
trigger.
and click. What'd you say, John?
They be quick on the trigger.
Quick.
No
That's
That's
crazy.
it.
My
All right,
therapist
have
would
another
never.
appointment. All right, thanks. Great. Bye. Click. Damn, I thought you cared. I swear you cared. He's asking me all these fucking questions.
It's hilarious to me.
I was introduced to Cassandra by Talk with Mac. Talk to Mac. Mac used to come on
My
the show.
buddy.
He now has a podcast called
Menage a Mind.
Menage a Mind. And there's a group of promising therapists, which is Allison, Cassandra, Mac, Siobhan, that they all know each other and they bounce off each other. And so it's cool. Like, you know, I met Cassandra through Mac, and I was just like, okay, we'll talk to her. The level of, when I say that she knows how to express herself, she knows how to break down conversations. She is like, she'll tell you, like, yo, I don't do therapists. I don't like the word therapist. I don't like the term therapist. I do coaching for men, and she's purposeful. She just knows what the fuck she's doing. So I'm like, yo, come in, talk to us, have her come and show these people your stuff.
Yes.
Go.
Wow.
What?
Wait, are you a therapist and you just don't like the term, or you're not officially?
Well,
a therapist?
I'm classically trained
Okay.
so I've been doing this for like 17 years. So
shit.
I was like brought in as a young adult, just had certain skill sets, and so they just set me on a path, and that's how I kind of got started. And I want to say maybe about year 10, I started to realize when working with clients, I can tell if a client has been to therapy before or not.
Really?
And yes, because I can tell, you know, I'm almost nervous to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and be bold. It's based on how they justify their actions. When they start relating things to their past, I know they've been to a therapist. I know the therapist, either, I'm not blaming the therapist, but somehow through treatment, they didn't get beyond the past and into the future. Sometimes what happens is either, you know, maybe the therapist isn't, you know, is dwelling in the past too much and they're not helping them forward think, or, you know, the client stops going to therapy. You know, they figure that this is cathartic and then they just stop continuing, and so they don't move forward. So I like coaching because my purpose as a coach is we're making a game plan and we're thinking about the game that's coming, and we'll reflect on the last one for a few pointers, but we're moving on. We're not staying back there. It's finished. That game is done. Whatever happened, whatever position that you played that it wasn't the best or what was amazing, we're going to take those notes. We're going to see what we can duplicate, see what we can shift, and that's it. And so with that, people find that they feel a lot more calm, peaceful, and just life satisfaction.
And it's also tools, right? So she's actually giving you working tools in order to make whatever your issues are going. Like, that's what we want. Like, personally, that's what I want. If I'm going to talk to somebody, help me work through this.
Like
Yes.
tools.
You're telling me all the way back to when I was in my cradle, which is cool. Oh yeah, I can see how that was, but I still got to go back to this issue that I'm having tomorrow. We don't have fucking time.
Right.
Only 59 minutes.
Yeah.
Give me some shit to go back. I got to go and sleep next to this woman.
Fucking
Yes.
tools.
Fun fact, the tool that I share with you today was designed by my best friend, Siobhan Davis. She designed that single-handedly.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Now,
She's
the
a
tool
whiz.
is the 5 A's.
So,
Yeah, set this up so we can, how do you want to do this?
well, I don't want to do too much of her tool because I asked her for permission to utilize her tool. So,
Gotta
I worked
pay for
with...
it.
But Siobhan Davis will also be
Yeah.
at this thing.
Yeah. So, you know, this is what happened. So Siobhan and I started working together. She has her coaching program. She works primarily with married couples. And she was getting rapid results. Like long lasting results. And I was like, what the hell are you doing in there? I've never seen this. I was like, nah.
What do you mean by results?
So she would work with married couples who would be in shambles.
Oh, okay.
Like literally one person living in Texas, the other person living in Florida, because they just couldn't stand each other. And then within less than 30 days, they're back in their home, in the same home together, co-living and chilling.
Gotcha.
Like the disconnect never occurred.
Now, if y'all know me, y'all know how strong exactly Dodge is. I'm not even gonna take that personally.
Don't. You were supposed to finish talking. And I was supposed to laugh under you talking.
Nah, it was
You stopped.
it was the chuckle heard round the world.
So I'm Christmas addicts. That's
it
crazy.
Or Rodney King.
Bitch. Rodney?
If you're here now, you might not know that we already did part 1 of this, part 2 of this, but we want to release this first. So I'm telling you right now, what we're releasing this Thursday, we're getting canceled for this. Cassandra walked in on the last part of it.
So
it
happy.
was bare fuckery.
So
Bare
bad.
fuckery. Melly almost quit.
It was bad.
Like it was fucked up. It was pretty fucked up. But we wanted to have fun, and we knew that we was gonna have a serious episode after it. So we kicked ass, and I think it was like rare. We were in rare
Can't wait to
form.
watch it.
So
Oh, no.
shout out
You're
to
gonna
part
be so
1, which is part
disappointed in our
2.
behavior.
That's gonna come out this Thursday, or you can go listen to it right now on Patreon, because it should be up unless I fell asleep after jerking off. Because right now Monday morning, and I be horny, even though it's only Friday. I just know how I'm gonna feel on Monday. Anyway, what was I saying?
Nothing.
So if you know me, you know that. Look how I'm able to connect back to the thought like that.
'Cause of water?
Just like
That
that.
for the water.
Drinking water. Crazy. That's crazy.
water.
See, I went right back to it. I didn't think about it. What was I talking about? I didn't have to do that. Went right back. Boom. Got it.
It's not only the water. It's also Cassandra.
I will not take credit for that.
No, and trust me.
Wow.
In any case, if you know me, you know that for one, I can start a problem out of anything.
I'm joking. This is just joking.
I learned
Yo.
that.
So you ain't say nothing.
4
You ain't say
people.
nothing about
So I can't even
Charlie.
see Toro, but every working neck in this room saying, "Yeah,
Wait, you talking about you? No way.
Not you.
Not only can I start a problem with nothing, I can receive information in a way that I take as an affront. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? That I could take like, yo, why would you? You know, I can carry it. My community, overall, my communication isn't the best. And if I told y'all before, I was speaking to Cassandra on a Zoom with Tanae and I, and she set up she's like, all right, I want y'all to argue about something. First of all, why would you have us argue in front of you? Like, why are you making us argue in front of you? What was that for?
So I could see the patterns. Because, you know, when you talk to someone about their challenges with their partner, it's their lens, their point of view. And so to get scope and understanding and to see what's getting in the way of communication being smooth, I need to observe in your natural habitat. So I have my clients who are coupled to argue in front of me.
It did not turn out the way I thought it would. Now, me personally, I still think I was right. I think I was right.
I ain't saying
I just don't think I expressed myself well at this juncture. And it was proven once we finished. So me and Tanae going back and forth, and I'm like, and I laid out 1, and I laid out 2, and I laid out 3, and I laid out 4. I'm on her ass. I just know Cassandra's like, damn, he got her. He's right. He's right. She goes, okay, so Tahoe. Okay, first of all, guys, do you want me to do this as a therapist, or do you just want me to give it to you? Your communicate. So I said, just give it to her. Come on. She's like, yeah, just come on. Let's do it. Tahoe, you are horrible at communicating.
It's terrible.
You are. It is every. No, all right. So what are the things you said? I hit every bad mark in the book in communicating.
Nailed it.
Every bad mark.
Criticize, contempt. It was wild.
Ooh, I know those
Stonewall.
words.
Yeah, he did them all.
Stonewall, criticize. What's
You did all
Stonewall?
that shit in a mock
the four
argument,
horsemen?
nigga.
Yeah, the four horsemen. Yeah,
The 4 what?
The four
horsemen.
horsemen.
What is that?
Gottman Institute. I forget what the fourth
Yeah,
one is.
Gottman
just now.
Institute. I went
But yeah,
down that
they're
rabbit
like-
hole.
they've
Sorry.
broken down
What's
the
wrong with y'all,
communication on the 4 horsemen, like the 4 deadly horsemen, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if you do any of these things, you are guaranteed to like fail in your relationship. And contempt is the worst one, and you had done them like all in
All
about
4 of
15
them.
minutes.
Damn.
Like laid into.
I was shocked. Well,
shocked. Yeah, that shit broke my heart. 'Cause I had so much. I thought she had so much respect for me. She's like, "Yo, Tahoe, you're just so good at this. You're so aware." Like every time we do therapy, she's like, "You're just." Look at this here. Yup.
Hi, boo. No, so this is the crazy
You know
part.
what's bad when
Nigga
your
said
therapist
all
is scolding you in front of your
4.
partner? Yes, life coach is in front of you, and she's just and the person that you're always telling is wrong is just sitting there like.
No, here's a rub though. I didn't get to share this with them, but today, if you're watching, you're gonna be very happy. They were like this close out of the woods. Because so this is the method. So the method is, so I took Siobhan's tool and I kind of like reworked it in a way that I think would help couples, which is I'm going to watch you argue about a topic, whatever topic you swear you guys cannot get through. I'm going to have you argue. I come off camera, so it's seemingly private. And then I share the tool with you. I don't give you any feedback. I don't correct anything. I just give you the tool and I walk you through the 5 A's. I go back off camera. You have the same exact argument. Mm-hmm. The same thing, the same topic. Don't change anything and follow the system. Most couples will spend, I'll say 15 minutes, but I'll let a couple go 30 minutes arguing because I really, at first you're aware that somebody's watching and I wait till I can really see like, oh, they're in the zone. They're in it. And I've had couples go from arguing around a topic for 30 minutes and getting nowhere to being able to have a meaningful, effective conversation and finish in 5 minutes or less without the chaos, without the stress. Now, Tanae was following the steps and she got to the point where they were about to make an agreement. And he was like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. He switched it around. And I was like, what just happened?
I don't like the direction of this. I don't like where this is going.
I was like, what happened? I was like, y'all were just out of the woods. So I let it go on. And Tanae was just like dumbfounded. She didn't know what to do. She was still trying, to use the tool. And that's when I came back on and I was like, wow, this is a first.
Why do you find this so funny?
Nigga, you are an anomaly.
I was amazed.
So what I brought, without stroking Cassandra's methods too much, I do want her to, kind of show us what she's worth, what she does.
Sure.
I want to give you the floor. What?
We about to argue?
I don't know. I don't know what she has planned. I don't know
Oh,
what
I was
she's
about to
coming
say
off-
it's
come off
fucking
at the top.
lit, nigga.
But
Well,
I do want. Listen, she's amazing. So I don't know if you want people to ask
yes,
you
definitely.
about situations.
Yes, and specific. Even are there other people?
Yes, people in
A
the
part-
Discord can DM
Anybody.
us or ask questions in the Discord. If you aren't part of the Discord, I'm telling you right now, they're on the screen, they're watching, they're commenting. When we speaking to Malcolm, Dina, Tanae, Kiana, Brittany, Trav, they're all in there. We have several people in there that wind up having their own damn near episode after the show. They talking here till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But if you want to join, that's at www.patreon.com/So Shameless Podcast. Patreon.com/So Shameless Podcast. And then you join one of the higher tiers. You get the Discord link. You also get extra Patreon episodes that we do most times once a week. And then we also doing episodes with people out of town. We're doing episodes with listeners and things like that. And a bunch of surprises coming soon. So, Trump,
Yes.
Daj,
Yo.
does anybody have a relationship question, issue, situation, something that, you think, what? What do you think about this?
All right. Y'all going to have to give me a minute because I got to come with some hypotheticals, right? Because, no. Here's the thing. Right when I left the house, the last thing my fiance said, don't talk about me. I was like, okay. But
Right.
no, so here's the thing, though. I didn't say I wouldn't talk about her on Patreon. So I'm gonna save my personal shit for Patreon. She ain't gonna spend the $9 to hear the shit anyway. She might hear this. I don't know.
Right.
So y'all gotta give me a minute. I gotta come up with something that maybe is from a past relationship. Is that okay? Is that fair?
Totally.
Okay.
No,
Give me a
please.
second. What?
Yes.
No. Tahoe, what do you?
This is hilarious.
This is why Drake said nobody wants to be married. Like, I don't. It's like, is it really that dope? Matter of fact, let's go back into the Steve Harvey clip. Okay, because Cassandra had
terrible.
a bunch of faces. We spoke about this on part 1/part 2, whatever, however you want to. But I'm gonna, whatever it is. But I'm gonna go back into it right now, play it,
Yeah.
and let's get Cassandra. Well, this shit's been on this whole time. My battery damn near dead. All right, let's get Cassandra's take on Steve Harvey. See, look, she want to play games.
Yeah. So when I first started dating my girlfriend Olivia, this is Olivia, I was playing professional hockey over in Europe. So we started doing the long distance thing, and for a few years she made it work by coming and visiting me whenever she can. Now I've moved back home, and so now we finally have a regular relationship. So I know a lot of people come to you for advice for long distance relationships, but my question for you is, how do we transition from going from a long distance relationship to seeing each other every day without getting on each other's nerves and things like that?
Don't you dare enter into a relationship with a woman and think it's 50-50. That's the biggest mistake men make. It's not 50-50. It's 85-15. We get the 15, and you like it. Let her make all the decisions about where you travel, vacation. Let her worry about how the house. Let her control everything in your life. You'll be happier for it. And just take the 15% that you get. Enjoy your 15%. Shut your damn mouth. It ain't.
Is it
That
bad that
hard.
I like?
That's what he said.
I would rather the 15.
You would rather 15.
I don't be wanting to do. I don't
You
want
want
to
things done
make.
for you.
I don't want to make decisions. I like lead me. I make a lot of decisions. I think a lot. I do a lot on a day to day in my relationship. I just want you to be like, yo, babe, do da da da, and I'll be like, okay. I just want to say okay.
Right.
And if I can't say okay at home, then I don't want to run shit in my house. What? I'm tired.
Unfortunately, with those sound bites, it sounds like a part of it was cut. So I don't know
part
how
of it.
Definitely.
he jumped to that. So like what he was so passionate about, but you gotta, when you start giving percentages, you're gonna have to quantify that. What exactly consists of the 15% and what exactly consists of the 85%? Because it sounds like the 85% that she's doing is life work. And but it sounds like the way that he's phrasing it is in such a way that you're giving her the control. You're giving her something, but the context of what he's talking about are high stress like things. So I'm not understanding where he's actually coming from or what the benefit of that is, and how he came up with this I'm going to say an algorithm at this point, because it sounds like it's supposed to create some sort of joy or peace, or your life is going to be better for it. But you're saying you're putting the onus on her.
Yeah, like I don't want to run shit.
It sounds like a percentage version of the phrase "happy wife, happy life."
I don't like that.
That's what it sounds like.
It needs to end.
How
It needs
come
to
you don't
burn in
like that?
flames. Because you have. Are we allowed to like name drop? Like, is it like I don't want to be insensitive, but we have.
Do it.
It's so
Okay.
shameless.
It's so shameless.
True.
We don't give a
Very
fuck. If you
So-
heard the beginning of this episode, you did not ask that question. The shit that we said about the pioneers of black
Let me grab
people in America, it was real bad.
Okay. Well, we have mysteries like Twitch, right? Have no idea the DJ that took
DJ.
his
Oh,
life,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I have no idea what happened and what was going on for him. I'm not going to blame his marriage. I'm just saying that if we continue to
will.
be, if we continue to accept the facade of a man that appears to be happy, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know what the heck is really going on. How do we triage? How do we support men?
Right.
If we don't know what the heck is going on, you know what I mean? So the it needs to be a happy home. And when a man is under duress, his feet does the walking, does the voting. Like, I'm going to vote myself out of this relationship. I'm going to vote myself out of this community or out of this home because it's so stressful and there's no resolve. But we want men in the home. So
I have a problem with all of it. And Sandra, you was over there disagreeing from afar. I am a human fucking being. I have dreams. I have aspirations. I have feelings. I have fucking wants and needs. It can't just be about me serving you. Your 85% means you're getting more of your 100. I'm only getting 15 of mine. That's it.
That's crazy.
To me, that sounds like the idea of now. I was speaking about this. Cassandra and I are now going live on Instagram, and I'm hoping this continues because I just want to share the way my mind thinks and the way, you know, a lot. Sinead's gonna be like, yeah, nigga, but you're always tanking me. But I talk about my relationship. I talk about the things the way I think. Now it's not like, you know, get down to the dirty, like, oh, she did this, she did that. But you know, the way my mind processes things, right? But it's like, yo, I am here to serve, but I also want to be served. I 100%. Want reciprocation. Like, I feel like as a man, we have to show up as, and I said this today on live, I have to show up as husband material from the fucking door. Every single thing is leading up to look like this is a man that I want because of this, that, and the other. But women, they don't have to do that. Women will say, I'm not giving you wife material as a girlfriend, as a person that you're trying to woo. You want me. You show me what the type of man you can be, or the type of dater you can be, or the type of person that you are. And eventually, I'll give you the things you need to make you happy. And it feels like that bar continuously grows throughout the relationship or throughout even the wooing process or whatever, that I'm always doing more, not feeling appreciated for it, not feeling reciprocated at all. But it's like, yeah, you're supposed to do that. And at some point, I start getting frustrated, and the next thing you know, I'm fucking Barbara.
Yeah. I understand.
You remember Barbara?
You don't agree?
No, I think that at my age now, that whole notion of you don't give wifey material until you're a wife is like, but if you're a wife, why are you dating? Like, it doesn't make sense to me anymore. Now it just seems ass backwards. Like, how do you know what a wife does or how a wife performs and you've only ever been a girlfriend in your life? Because that shit is different. Like, even in the relationship that I'm in now, this is the longest relationship that I've ever been in. This is the longest healthy relationship that I've ever been in. And this is the longest monogamous, even though we have an option, relationship that I've ever been in. I've cheated on everybody. Like,
God bless y'all.
Everybody.
Right,
I don't give a fuck no more. I don't care.
Dominus odious.
But with that being said, like, I remember like people saying that, and that was like a big thing. Like, oh, you know, you don't act like a wife. You don't do this, that for the person until they wife you. And it's just like, but why? But what if this is in my heart? What if this is who I am? Right. I am naturally a nurturer. I am naturally a person that takes care of the people that I love. So now I have to stop being who I am because I'm like, well, you're not reciprocating in the way that I want you to reciprocate at the speed that I want you to reciprocate. So now I have to give you less. And if I have to sit there and barter in my mind to give you less, then you're not the person I'm supposed to be with anyway.
100%.
So all of this shit is dumb. Like, I feel like if I had a question to ask, this is my first time being in a relationship at this length with little to no problems.
Dope.
And my therapist told me that I'm used to trauma. I'm used to, like, I find resolve in, like, negativity because that's what I'm used to. So all of this positivity around me, like, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'm just like, this nigga too fire, this relationship too fire, everything too fire, none of this makes sense, something's gonna happen. When is that moment? And always still kind of teetering on preparing for it because I've always had to be on the defense my whole life. So I'm like, I don't want to live like that, but I also don't want to be unprepared because, as my father would say, the most unpredictable person on earth is man. Like, you never know what people will do or what they're capable of. Right. But this shit is abnormal to me. Even when we talk on this show, like, about our relationships, Tahoe be like, you act like your relationship is so perfect. I'm like, but I don't have nothing to say. Like, I could make up a lie or some shit maybe, but I really don't have anything to say. Even when I spoke to Mac recently, and Mac was like, all right, you guys are engaged now. Do you think you want to go into, like, premarital counseling? And I'm like, Mac, I don't know what we would even talk about. Like, what is there even to discuss? I don't have no problems. And I don't know if he has any problems, but I'm pretty sure at this point, if he had a problem, he'd fucking tell me, like, bitch, I got a problem.
Right.
See? And this is why I don't be talking about nothing.
Hey, 6 minutes of, well, my marriage is perfect.
No, but I asked the question within that. Like, is that normal?
To be concerned.
To not have problems.
That's the question, to not have
Yeah,
problems.
like, is it normal to not have problems, or is it normal for me to constantly be waiting for a problem to happen that has never happened?
You're always flexible.
No, I know a lot of relationships
flexing.
like that.
They're so rude.
I know a lot of relationships like yours.
That's perfect.
Her relationship,
Not perfect.
her relationship
though.
is not. It's not necessarily that it's perfect, but I like to use spiritual terms, and if that's cool. So some of the spiritual terms that I use is I call like the Sabbath, right? That's the place of rest. So when we talk about like the journey of trauma, if you can imagine, sort of like, I want you to imagine like a circle, right? And at the top of the circle is like a vortex where things can come in and out, feelings, emotions like abandonment, anger, resentment, right? We all have it. Like, we all have that accessible to us. And every now and then a trigger will occur that will have that experience. We'll use abandonment, pop out, right? And the first part of it is when you're feeling it in your body, right? And when you go through the whole process, there are like 5 steps that I have when I work with clients, to the point where it goes back into the vortex. When it's back, that means that it's something that it's not going to really come up as harsh. It's not going to have you be reactionary. That is a space of Sabbath. So it sounds like, so the reason why people can get to a space of Sabbath is practicing honesty and leaning into pain. So if you've practiced not avoiding pain, burying things and shoving it down, and you've been very honest, then that means that you've processed through your trauma. You've done the process to where you're at a Sabbath, you're at a rest. So the reason why you're probably looking for the other shoe to drop, I will agree with your therapist and say there probably is an aspect of trauma there, but I think alongside of that is just a nature of a woman, right? And as a woman, we talked about this on the live. Women scan for problems.
All the time.
We're
24/7.
like, think about hunters and gatherers, right? Like a man has sharp vision, and men like they'll zone out. Women, we scan. We're looking. Everything is talking to us, right? If I'm in my house and I have dishes, it's like the dishes are fucking calling
Screaming
me.
at me like, put me in the dishwasher, you lazy ass bitch. It don't take that long.
What? I cannot fucking concentrate.
Yo,
if
real.
this is out of place, it's like, it's constantly, it's like, what? Whereas a man can be in a space and be just like, I got to do this thing right here. I'm going to just do this thing right here until it's done, right? So think about like hunter and gathering days and why this is important. If we have to gather berries, right? I'm not looking to hunt. I'm looking to figure out where I'm going to gather as many things as I can. So I'm going to be scanning. This is a primitive response. So you're having a primitive response in terms of scanning that you may not necessarily be able to take off, but you can address it. Like, you can lean into it and practice. And then in that space of awareness, practice saying that you're safe.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I've been working on. Like, when I'm having like these anxious moments or whatever, I'm just like, you're fine.
Yes.
Nothing's happening.
Yes.
Nothing's wrong. What are you looking for? Like, these are the conversations that I'm having within my head. And I'm just like, but it's like I have arguments with myself because I don't argue with my man. Like, I'm arguing with myself. Like, but what if? And the other part of myself is like, shut the fuck up. Nothing is happening. And I'm like, but what if? And it's like, nothing is happening.
So you can reframe that actually to say something like, isn't it sweet that you care so much about your life that you're looking to make sure that everything is okay? I love that about myself. Like, you get to practice like being gracious and sweet with yourself around the things that are seemingly annoying, right? Like, for me, like an annoying thing about me is always worrying about people's feelings. So instead of me judging myself for that, I might just confess and be like, isn't it so sweet that you really care about people's feelings? Like, you've made that your responsibility for so many years and you don't have to do that anymore. They'll be okay. And then I can release it. So that's how come I get to like be in my Sabbath, and I can easily come out of it. Like, I can easily be a raging, egomaniacal, controlling ass bitch like that. It don't really take much, but it's just about choice. So when we get to that space of choice, I call that like our godlike reality. So
but why are women so stressful?
Because we have anxiety and we have less testosterone than you guys do.
Okay,
Real big
but y'all are
anxiety. My anxiety is
scanning
at 1,000.
when we're chilling. There's nothing wrong You're scanning. You're looking for something wrong. That's what I get from that trauma. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
They're literally, there's dishes in the sink. We're over here chilling. You're here. We're chilling, but you can't chill because there's dishes in the sink.
Because they're talking to me.
They're talking.
Let's think about this on another level.
Like, told Drew, like, yo, like, we're on our way to the bed, and I'm like, no, I can't. And he's like, but we almost there. And I'm like, babe, please just help me. Like, I can't.
Just go
like,
wash the dishes, Drew.
No, not even. We have a dishwasher. Just help me load these shits. Like, I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. and come out here and it's dishes in the sink. I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And then your childhood trauma pops in from when I used to get my ass whooped at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, didn't I tell you to wash the dishes? I'm like, yes, mommy, I'm getting up right now. Like,
Oh my God.
no, it's bad.
I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning to do dishes.
See?
If I wake up out my bed and
must got roaches.
I was like, "Are you serious?" Yeah. Absolutely.
You got roaches?
No.
Why would you have roaches? Yo, I was thinking about roaches yesterday. I dropped.
You dropped a roach?
No, because no, I used to like when I lived with my grandparents, they definitely had a pest issue and they were like old and just like they just did not keep the house up, so it was like a problem, right? So I ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? And I had it on the cutting board, but I was eating it while I was watching Rick and Morty because I was high, so it was a lot of shit going on. So I left the cutting board like on my little nightstand table because I was into that shit, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, how the fuck did you leave this cutting board? And then Parker came in the room. It was like a little piece of jelly on it. And then Parker was like, what were you eating last night? And I'm like, mind your fucking business. I ate shit last night, right? And I'm like, but what if a roach got into the... And I'm like, I don't even have roaches, bro. Like,
You live in Jersey?
yeah. What that mean?
So Cassandra,
I have central air.
you focus on men. Is it because they need more work? Like, because it seems like the women are the one that is scanning. So why did you choose that over the ladies? Because it seems that you understand everything on a whole. So, like, what made you say, you know what, this is where my talents are needed?
Sure. I didn't choose it. It chose me. And I hate to sound matrixy, but I remember I was like 14 years old. I was in my aunt's house in the Bronx, and I legit heard, like, on a spiritual level, I want you to work with men, and I want you to teach men how to be men, and I want you to teach women how to be women. So to my understanding, this is a pit stop. I don't think I'm going to be working with men forever.
But you're saying teach men how to be. What is teaching men how to be men?
You know what? When I was 14, it didn't make sense to me. But now when I see the world that we're living in, it makes a lot of sense.
Like embrace their masculine energy?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the
Correct.
only reason why I've never called you, because you said you focused on men. I was like,
Correct.
I was so upset.
I'm going to tell
Me
you right
too.
now.
I was mad as hell.
No, I'm going to tell you right now. And I think I've told the story before. Cassandra told me that, not that I act like a bitch, but
I definitely would never say that.
it's not like that.
Sorry.
It's not like that, but it's like, it's okay to be masculine in a way that's comforting to your woman. She needs a certain type of energy. So, you know, in this world that we're in, you know, I just did the Vice interview and we're trying to define masculinity. It's like the world is trying to take us away from thinking a certain way, but that energy is needed.
It's
in
needed.
some
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
ways. So can y'all talk? Like, why?
Yeah.
What? All right, fuck
They're
toxic
trying to-
masculinity. What
trying
is
to
the
dilute-
masculine energy that we need? Go ahead.
They're trying to dilute masculinity because of what it can provide and how much it can change. Like, to be honest with you, some of my most supportive people in my life that have, like, really helped me have been men.
Same.
Like, when I'm fucking down and out and shit like that, and my car broke down, my brother-in-law gave me his whole car, I had my daughter, you know, and we vilify men, and it's because when a man is focused and when a man is, like, settled, he can, like, villages are built, communities are built, and when a man has a vision around certain things, and he has, like, you know, again, I'm going to use my own personal jargon, but when he's in a king-like state of mind, right, there's a difference between thinking like a villager because you're thinking on the ground level and you're thinking as a king, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown, because he has to think about the villagers. He has to think about what women need. He has to think about what children. He has to think about the soldiers. There's a lot of people to think about. And this whole entire situation has to come cohesively together, which is called galvanizing, right? When you can galvanize, you're bringing different elements together and making it one. That is a skill set that men can do beautifully. Think about typically coaches are men, right? They know how to see different positions and bring them together to perform well, to win a game. That is a skill set. And when you dismantle that, we're breaking the community down. It's like the Tower of Babel all over again, where we're all here. We used to all be able to speak the same language. We're building some shit really fascinating. And then the powers that be break that shit apart. And now nobody can understand what the fuck we're talking about. We're speaking English.
So many different tongues.
Yeah, it's too much going. It's too much going on. So I really honestly think that I mean, I cannot speak for any other race because I'm a black woman and that's my experience. But it is very clear that there is an agenda to break the man down, because that's the best way to get to the women and children. So they're dilute. So what I mean by diluted masculinity, especially when it comes for black men, is making men feel uncomfortable in their anger. I know anger is a secondary, expression of frustration or some things that are going on, but there's nothing wrong being angry, right? Like when I continue to build my practice, I have every intention of like getting a lot and getting shit that men can just break. Sledgehammers, bats.
Crazy.
That's so crazy. We were just talking about breaking shit. Like,
got to.
Before we started the show.
Got to. Crazy. To be rough, to have the right. It's like there was once upon a time where boys could run down the hallway and the adults knew that boys were being boys. Now it's like, no, don't run. No, don't play in dirt. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. And you're not saying, what are you saying yes to? Like, what is he allowed to do? So we've we're literally constraining men and contracting men to the point where y'all don't know what y'all are allowed to do anymore.
Yes, that's how
So I was teaching earlier today, and there's these two kids in my class. This is middle school. That I call them Beavis and Butthead.
Oh.
These two kids are fucking idiots. And they know that they're idiots.
Okay.
And they're like running around. They're just doing the dumb shit. They're disruptive. So you're saying that I should just let them be?
No, you have. God
Boys
damn
will
it,
be
Trump.
boys. I'm just trying to understand what she said.
No, you
Exactly.
have
And
to
apply it
give
to
them,
real
I just
life.
want to let y'all know Drum's been drinking. He's had a lot.
you
He
have to
started
give
with
them-
Duce. He's drinking whiskey now. So if parents,
No, I
he's
didn't
been
even pour the
drinking.
whiskey yet.
Jesus Christ. Listen. Just stop. You have to give them a place and a space and an avenue to be able to let go of that type of behavior and aggression and emotion, right? So I'm in the same space, the middle school space, right? I just let my boys know I don't have a problem with y'all horsing around. I don't have a problem with y'all playing around. I don't have a problem with y'all play fighting and shit. There's a time and a place.
Yes.
Do it. Just don't do it in the middle of my class, right? So I'm not telling them to take away their innate ability just to do fuck shit, because kids like to do fuck shit. Right. Even my kids, I tell them don't run down the hall, barreling down the hallway, because you can hurt somebody smaller. You can hurt somebody in a way that has nothing to do with nothing. Y'all niggas want to run? Oh, I can make you run.
Right.
We could go outside. I bought my jump rope to class, and my boys is like, Miss D, can I jump rope real quick? Yes. Take that energy out. Go jump your ass in the middle of the classroom right now while everybody's packing up. Jump rope. You have other energy that you need to take out. Pick up all these chairs in this classroom real quick. Go ahead. Pick them up. And you have to give them something else to do without invalidating the fact that they're still kids and they still need that type of space, right? And I understand that because you have them in like a program, kids still need breaks. My thing with my kids, the only reason why I tell them no is I don't like people lying to me. Don't say, oh, I got to go to the bathroom when you really need a break.
Right.
Or you really need to take a walk. Nigga, tell me you need to take a walk. Yo, I need a break. Go. Wander.
I love that.
Go up there. Like,
Most
I have
teachers
made them
aren't like you, though.
Yeah, most
But no-
women aren't either because I need a fucking break and I'm 47 years old.
But
Why
everybody,
isn't it the fact that y'all don't know when I'm fucking old that I need a goddamn break? Why
But
you always got something
everybody
to do? I'm
needs
watching the game. Why I gotta
breaks,
put up
though.
a cabinet right now? I gotta come down,
You
grab
don't
all
have
this other
to.
shit, do the shit you told me to do 3
you
days
have
ago. I
to
didn't
use
do
your
this shit yet.
words
I'ma
so
do
that
this shit.
I know.
Use
That's
your
all
words.
I'm asking you. Just use your word. If I
Yeah.
ask you like, yo, babe, can you do da and you say no, I'm like, what the fuck you mean no? And like, I'm really tired right now. Now is not the time, but I'll do it
Yes.
another time. Cool,
Yes.
nigga. Then do it
Right.
another time. But if you just tell me no, then I'm gonna get my ass up and then I'm gonna do it when I could just sit the fuck down because I like to sit too.
Yeah, but like Tahoe was saying, if it hasn't gone well before in the past with me being honest, like, hey, I need a break, it's not always received well. So now I gotta just be like, you know what, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Then you want to no, but that also comes into like, I can't police the world, right? I can't tell every educator how to run their class, but I have the space to be the leader of my team. So I speak to my team and we have these conversations like, listen, we're in agreement. If they need a break, give them a fucking break. Like, we're in agreement that sometimes they do need that time to socialize, but just ask. Don't just do. Like, even today, like, we had like a potluck and shit in school, and like there's certain kids that have relationships with other kids in different classes and shit like that. One of my kids was like, can I please sit in here so I could be next to such and such? Sure. Do it.
That's dope.
You need these times and these places and these spaces. Fuck the rules. Like, you can't do nothing. You can't.
It's true.
You can't walk around. You can't sit up. You got to raise your hand. You need permit. The only thing I ask is don't walk on my class. Just tell me where you going. Like, yo, I go. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Go. And
I
that's
just
how
wanna
it's
know-
supposed to be.
Zoom Macer left. Fuck him.
What? What just
So
happened?
what's y'all's experience? Because you guys are able to kind of see what life was like maybe like 15 years ago and now. What did your masculinity feel like for you maybe like 10, 15 years ago versus now? Do you feel like it like there's a unspoken request for you to dilute your masculinity? Do you feel like it's the same?
That's a good question. I mean,
When I go ahead.
hey, no, you go.
No, you go.
I'm not ready yet. You go.
When I was 31 years old, masculine. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was still figuring out masculinity. I had just got home from prison. So I can only speak about from a really personal space, right? Because I really wasn't it's too much information sharing on some parts when it comes to relationships. That's all you hear about on podcasts or social media. How a man should be, and it's mostly coming from women. You know what I'm saying? Women that probably ain't have no dads, been around men. They only getting it from other women. Their advice is what I'm thinking.
Right.
It's what I'm thinking. It's not what I know, but fuck it. I'm being toxic today, so that's where I'm going with it. You didn't have that. There was a lot less sharing of experiences when I was 32. You just did just a little friend group, and most of them knew the guy. So some of them was on his side. Some of them, were empathetic. There was a little bit more fairer basis and less you listening to Carisha or some other shit. You know what I'm saying? In any case, when I was 32, I was still trying to prove that I was a man. And I think that I kind of still do that now, but I was like, yo, I got to pay all the bills. I got to not fuck bitches. I guess it's the same. Not much has changed.
So you don't feel like the environment or the atmosphere around being a man has shifted?
The atmosphere around being a man has shifted for me just because of the maturity of it at this point. I don't feel like I gotta go guns blazing no more. So for me, being a man means not jumping at every threat in a way that is, you know what I'm saying?
What about your
Or
perception of men
listening.
who are now in their 30s?
I don't know very many, but I know that I don't know very many. They say loon, but I realize that a lot of men are not comfortable with their emotions. They're not comfortable not being tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yo, you're allowed to be human. You're allowed to say, for instance, I was talking to my homeboy who had an issue with his homeboy, and he was like, yo, you know, fuck that nigga, this, that, and the other. I was like, how you miss the nigga? He said, I don't miss that nigga. I'm like,
Yes,
yo,
you
that's
do.
all you talk about. It's fuck that nigga. Son, you missed the nigga, bro. Like, it's okay to say you're disappointed about what happened, but
Right.
bro, you missed the nigga.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're trying to say, no, I'm not, no, I don't want it. I said, that's showing like you're really compartmentalizing your feelings to a point where you're even denying yourself the right to be human.
Yes.
Nigga, you missed the nigga. It's all right. Because you wouldn't hate the nigga this much.
Exactly.
You wouldn't always bring the shit up.
It's on the same continuum.
Like you're just, bro. It's all right to say you missed the nigga, and the reason why is because you're. For me, you're dealing with your feelings as they relate to you right now, and what you think I want to hear because of what I know he did to you. In all essence, you're still sad about what he did to you because you miss your fucking friend. You still feel violated, but you miss your friend. And I said, bro, at the end of the day I'm 20-something years older than you. I'm more comfortable saying, I miss this nigga.
Yeah.
I said, I went through something with my nigga on my show. I missed the nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what he did. I don't like how he handled me. I don't like how he talk about me. But I fucking missed the nigga. We had mad laughs. We had jokes. I knew everything about the nigga life. I'm comfortable saying I missed the nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I think that comes. I think I'm 20-something years his senior. The guy that I'm talking to. So I'm like, give me credit in saying that I learned something in those 20 years. Whereas right now you're still trying to prove that you're not 21. You're 27.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're still trying to prove that you're a man, that you're tough, that you're this. I'm past all that, my nigga. I don't have to prove that no more, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so in those next 20 years, hopefully it doesn't take you that long to get to a point where you're able to tell yourself like, yo, I'm human. I'm allowed to have feelings. I'm allowed to say, yo, this disappointed me. I'm allowed to say, yo, you know what? That ain't make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? To people. And not feel like your masculinity is under question. So in this day and age, if I'm looking at the younger generation, I realize I got to give them a little bit of grace.
Got you.
Because they haven't gotten there yet.
Got
so
you.
I'm not sure if it's
So
society.
it's like par for the course, in other words. Like,
if
got
whatever
you.
that means.
Like, you know, it's part of the process.
It is part of the process.
Yeah.
And you have to go through shit to learn some shit. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be willing to go through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And not deny it. To not deny the process continuously, because then you're doomed to repeat it.
Exactly. I think that we're sorely misinformed, and this is another thing we were talking about today, because, you know, I was doing some research and I was like, you know, let me ask my own questions, right? Because I've been taught certain things about men, right? I've had some of my own personal, you know, I can't date every single man, so that's not a good inference of information. And I have my clients, and the math ain't mathin'. You know what I'm saying? The things that I've been taught, what society is saying, and then when I'm sitting down with a man, I'm talking, it's like,
night and day.
It's night and day. So I was like, you know, I need to, like, you know, retrieve my own information. And so I had a survey that I did in 2020, and it was a lot of information. I was just like, okay, I'm still lacking clarity. So then I started to ask questions and cause men to choose between these four things, right? So one of them was just like, choose respect, acceptance, like how do you want to be treated in a relationship? What's the most important thing for you? You know, is it to be respected? Is it to feel accepted? You know, and a couple of other things. And I had 2 questions like that in my large survey, right? I intentionally had 2 questions where respect could be the option, and that was not selected.
Yeah.
Really?
Acceptance.
Wouldn't it be acceptance?
Wow.
Yeah, I would think
Yes.
acceptance
Really?
is at the top of the list.
Shocked.
Respect.
Shocked.
I feel like, not being versed in this at all, I feel like men demand respect more from other men, but when you're talking about them in their vulnerable state, they want to be accepted, they want to feel safe, they want to be able to be themselves in totality and not have to hide or shield any of that. So once you provide a safe space for a man to be 100% himself and he feel accepted in that space, you can get anything from him. You can do anything with that man. You can go to the highest mountaintops with that type of a man.
Sean, what were the 4 things?
I think it was. I'll pull it up so I can be accurate. I'm gonna tell you
Because
just
I
now.
want to know. And we got Toro in here. Toro's over there
You sleep?
thinking about all of this shit that we're talking about. I can see he's intently.
So while we pause for a second.
So it was.
Oh, go ahead.
It was emotional connection and intimacy, to be respected. So I'll tell you what the percentages are. Emotional connection.
No. Don't give us the percentage. I
No?
want to
You
ask
wanna
us
answer
first
it?
and
Yeah.
answer it without any.
Okay, what is
yeah.
your top need as a man? Emotional connection and intimacy is the first one. The second one is to be respected. The third one is loyalty. And the fourth one is to be valued and accepted.
Jesus.
That's hard to choose.
Very
like,
hard.
How the fuck you choose? I need
Why do I
I
have to
need
choose
all of that.
from
Yeah.
them?
See? Trav, valued and accepted.
Yes.
Valued and accepted is what Trav said in the chat. Toro, what do you got? What do you think?
Oh, one was respected or something?
One of them is
It was
respect.
emotional connection and intimacy is the first one. To be respected is number 2. Number 3 is loyalty. And number 4 is to be valued and accepted.
I think to be respected.
Respected?
Yeah.
What's your perspective on that? Why you say that?
Cause like for me personally, like I don't really care to get accepted. Like the respect is more of a better thing for me. Cause I don't know. It's just like my thing is like I don't really care all about power, but like that's a big thing for me. I don't know. Cause growing up, cause you get more. I don't know. There's something too about respect. You feel me? Like acceptance is like you have to like someone have to really respect you to get accepted. You feel me? Like I come with it to me. So like if I get respected, acceptance comes with that. But I'm not looking for the acceptance. I'm looking for the respect, cause or whatever goal I'm trying to get. That's what I want to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Slapped that. You did that.
Yeah, that's how I thought men were going to interpret it. Actually, in my larger survey, the number 1 selection was emotional connection and intimacy.
That was for me. That's what
I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see that.
between emotional connection and intimacy and to be valued and accepted, it's not that it reflects what I know about men in the container that we're in when I'm coaching. That makes sense. But in a broader context and conversation, the way that we're groomed is that women want love and men want respect. But that's what happens when we start creating societies, we start creating values and beliefs on what a man is supposed to want, then there's a high chance that right behind that is him not being congruent or in alignment with what he really actually wants, because somebody's telling him that you should want respect. Somebody's telling him that you're hearing men want respect and women want love. So women are also interpreting, oh, well, I want to be loved, so he must not have feelings. So when a man is carrying a burden and he's silently suffering, her interpretation of that is like, damn, he don't feel nothing. Well, that makes sense because women want love and men want respect. But I don't know a woman that don't want to be respected.
Right.
Same.
And I don't know a man that don't want love. But somehow we've decided that the sexes want something completely different when in reality we want much of the same thing.
I feel like I see it most with children, though. Like, I've never seen young male children demand respect more than acceptance. They want to be accepted. They want to be a part of a
community.
Group. They want to be a part of a community.
Yes.
They want to be a part. Like, and I can't see it being that much of a drastic change between adolescence and adulthood.
Well, the question was geared towards what you want from a relationship,
Yes.
right?
Same.
So if you're talking about through the lens of relationship, I'm definitely going to go with the first one, like emotional connection and intimacy. Because that's the stuff that I can't get from other
Anybody
people.
else, right?
Right? I could get respect. I could get understanding. You know, I don't even know what the third one was.
Loyalty.
But loyalty, you get that from outside. You get that in the streets. What I want from my woman is an emotional connection and intimacy.
Right.
And that I can't get outside of my relationship. I can't fill that up anywhere else. So that would be
But if I
most
were to
important.
show this to women and ask women what do they think men would say, I'm pretty sure that women would select respect. And I think that's part of the problem. I think a lot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You feel me?
No, I agree
But
in
I'm also
totality
crazy.
because me being surrounded by so many men all the time, not only just my partner, but you have the Tahoes and the Charms and all of my brothers, like what I see from them
Correct.
in their relationships, respect would never cross my mind.
Never.
But that means, one, I see them as people. I understand my friends in their relationships. And then even looking at my own relationship, I'm 100% sure that is not the top of his list.
It's not the top of my man's list either. And in fact, when I first started to really take my coaching business to another level, and I was thinking about, how can I show men that they can get what they want? And I fought myself on the respect thing. I remember that vividly. Because when I was thinking about how me and my man talk, I'm like, my man never has to say to me that he wants respect out of the relationship. But in my mind, I'm groomed to believe and have this belief that the value that a man has around respect is paramount, right? And when a woman hears respect, that a man wants to be respected, it kind of sounds like, shut up, don't say nothing, right? And that's a problem that women have, is that they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to be able to speak, and so on and so forth. So if you have men who have this desire to have emotional connection and intimacy, and women are completely, they don't know that, except for women who want to be sugar babies. They know, right? Like they position themselves to address that. But for women who want healthy love and a healthy dynamic, seemingly do not know that. They don't study men in that way, because what they're looking to receive is not similar to what a sugar baby is trying to receive. So actually, technically speaking, I'm not saying that anybody should be a sugar baby. I'm just saying that there's a lot to learn from that world in terms of how men actually operate in the confinements of vulnerability, because that is the goal of a sugar baby, right? Is to get him vulnerable to the point where she's going to take care of her livelihood, right? And that requires her to tap into that emotional connection and that intimacy. And that's something that women who actually want a real relationship avoid.
Because they want to be seen. Like, yo, that's nuts. Yo, respect. What does that have to do with? Yo, when I look at a woman and I look at a partner and I look at relationships, I'm thinking about love, bro. This society don't. So if you're going back to what the difference is between before and now, the R&B songs, I was thinking about that before. They used to talk about love, bro.
Singing
now
in the
they
rain.
talk about fuck that nigga. Yo, Summer, SZA, all they talk about is and I love their music. I love their music. But all they talk about is fuck these niggas.
Everybody butt hurt.
SZA got a song called "I'ma Kill This Nigga."
Damn.
I think I'ma kill my ex.
Yeah.
Kill Bill. That's all. I think I'ma kill. It's great. It's loving. It sounds amazing. When you think about it, I'm like, yo, this is what y'all are glorifying now?
Right.
All our songs.
Right.
How can I snooze if I missed the moment? Like everything is about brokenheartedness, broken relationships. Back then it was like, I just need a piece of your love. I just want to be down.
Yeah.
I don't want to be down.
Right, I miss that.
They used to want to fuck with you. They don't
that.
want to fuck with you no more.
Nope.
They want you to see them, to honor them as a fucking person away from your ass, not be down with your ass. They don't want to be down with your ass no more. Fuck you, nigga. Sorry, that's my fourth glass of wine.
And I think the music has a lot to do with that. I
do too.
I do hold men accountable for that though, for that shift. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, absolutely.
How can you be on that side? You holding us accountable.
Well, that's the whole point,
right? That's a high form of love, is believing in the best of you and not giving up on you and treating you like you got to wear a dunce cap. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm talking about like the music industry in particular, right? So whoever was in the lead of it, but I think that men also have a misconception around leadership and what submission looks like, right? Yeah. You cannot, it's kind of like the same thing like with kids, right? I'm not going to do what you're saying for me to do as much as I'm going to do what I'm watching you do.
Yeah.
So if we're observing the music industry and we see like, the song Tip Drill, that, remember that used to come out? On BET, he said, "Do I?" Right, exactly. Swipe in the car, and I was like, "What is that exactly?" I started to look up the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? He's basically saying like, "I don't like your face, but your body look good," And after a while, it's like women start to say, "Well, I don't give a damn about your face, but your pockets are fat." So it's like,
because it ain't your face.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yes.
About to start twerking on
you know what I'm saying?
Porn couch.
She like this.
That's the arch in the back. Yeah. So, we have music that's glorifying the disconnect of vulnerability and cherishing a person and respecting a person and so on and so forth. And then over time, now we have women who are saying, I'm going to cut the middleman out. I don't want to dance on Luke's song no more. I'm going to make Luke's song. I'm going to make Uncle Luke type songs. I don't need you to glorify my body. I'm going to glorify my own body. I don't need you to say that I need to be in a bikini. I'm going to put a bikini on myself and I'll make a song how I want to. And it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now
It
that
ain't no
women
fucking
are
fun.
doing the thing that we have been allowing in society for so long, suddenly becomes a travesty because it's like, how dare you objectify yourself? But it's okay for another man to objectify me. It's okay for another man to exploit me, but I can't exploit myself.
Yeah, but that's why I said we're the new bitches. We don't want, like, yo, what
Says
happened
this all the time.
to y'all being fucking ladies? What do you
Huh?
mean?
It's like y'all took
does
the.
that mean?
What
It's
do you
like
mean
women
you're turning around and stroking your pussy for a camera? Like, what is that? Ice Spice?
Wait, what is this?
You see Ice Spice? She does
You
the wiggle.
saw
She
it
turns
though.
around.
Mind
and
you,
she-
the women in the room have no idea what the fuck you talking
She
about.
does that because we're talking about the younger generation. This is what they doing. You ain't see Ice Spice? That's her signature move.
No, I've never watched a video of these little
She
ass
turns
kids.
around, she bends over, and she swipes the pussy lips.
Show us how she do it.
Thought about it. You just had it. But it's like, yo, bro, we don't like. Now I remember, and the reason I said so, I remember the whole phase expert. He said this. He's like, yo, what type of way as women, do we want to be like women? It's women used to want men to behave a certain way, which was more honorable.
Chivalrous and all
And
that,
now
all that.
men are begging women to be more honorable.
Yes.
That's what, like, we're like offended. Like, I
Yes.
can't believe that y'all are doing this. I can't believe that y'all are acting this way. Can't believe you got a food nigga. Can't believe you got a fucking shopping nigga. You got a forever nigga. You got a
Wow,
side
you just
nigga.
subbed me crazy.
Yeah, like you got all of these niggas. Like,
changed.
bitch, when is you gonna? Why don't you stop? And he's say, yo, find you a good bitch and just beg her to stop. That's a meme now. Find you a good bitch, just beg her to stop. Stop.
I
You know what I'm saying?
changed. I
So,
stopped.
It's like I understand the women that were tired of being objectified, and then they took it and they empowered themselves by doing it on their own. But then it's like you took the worst part of the culture and you chose that to use and quote unquote
So what,
empower
y'all did it?
yourself.
There's nothing.
So,
but there's
okay,
nothing. Look, I just want to like pause because there's nothing empowering about it. I don't like that men did it, and I don't like that women are doing it. I don't like it at all, and it's not empowering to put position, in my opinion, right? Just my opinion, to position a woman like that as a man, and no less is it as a woman to decide that you're gonna cut the middleman out and do that as well. And the reason why it's happening is because that's what sells. You know what I'm saying? People want that buck. You know, they want to do whatever they can for $1. And, you know, do a little something strange for a piece of change. And that's what it is. So at the end of the day, it's like, how much is it their fault to do it as much as it the fault of people who are actually with the purchasing power?
All right. We are coming towards the end of this. Didn't go the way I wanted it to, which is fine because we do have an opportunity for it to go the way I want to next Friday. That is February 10th, next
Yes.
Friday here in New York City. I want to express y'all something. I want to say something. God damn it. The water wore off. When Tanae and I used to have issues, I would take it as an attack on my character more than anything. Why do you think I would do that?
Right.
Why can't you see what I'm trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
Intention.
Contention. I would take
No,
it
I
as
say intent. Like
intention, but I would take it with contention. Like, yo,
Content.
what the fuck? Content, whatever. Fuck, stop throwing words. I'm drinking.
my bad.
That goes crazy.
Go ahead, Tron.
No. I was just throwing words at you, but I didn't mean
While
to
I'm
interrupt you. Because I thought you were trying to say.
And drinking?
Because I was agreeing. I was like relating to you. I was like, oh
you was
yeah,
there with me.
like the intent of my,
I love Trump.
you know.
I spoke to Cassandra about it. She gave me advice on different ways to perceive the information that's being thrown at me, different ways to understand what Tanae is going through in these moments. And it was like light bulb moments all over. And it's literally like it changed the way that I communicated with her in one conversation. We had one conversation, Cassandra and I had one conversation about the way I'm receiving the information, the way I'm perceiving the moment, and options that I can use to change it in my favor, which is really just to create peace. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to chill. The fucking game is on. And Super Bowl is next week. Like, yo, do we have to argue through this?
Right.
But the way that I'm coming at it is exacerbating the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Cassandra was like, yo, this is what she needs in that. Look at how you reacted. And what she said, so she's like, yo, she needs comfort. She needs acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to feel like she's being heard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what woman doesn't want that? Let's just think about this. What woman doesn't want that?
Mm-hmm.
Comfort, acceptance, to feel heard, to feel seen by the person whose dick they sucking. Mine should be sweaty, bro.
Goodness, poor today.
I'm sorry.
God, I just
I did too much.
salty ass balls.
She sucks.
Today I keep you in my thoughts and prayers a lot. I'll never stop saying it.
But do you want to be doing that with somebody that don't see you, that don't listen to you, that don't make you feel accepted, that don't make you feel comforted when you're going through some shit, or when you just have a concern? Because a lot of times your concerns is coming at a time when I'm chilling. Why are you hitting me with a concern right now? Motherfucker! I'm doing this again.
I remember we had the conversation. I was like, can I ask you a question? I was like, how often is she doing that when y'all are at peace? And you're like, oh my God, all the time.
All the time.
And I was like, oh, okay. And now I understand what's going on. Let me break this ice real quick and like share what's going on. So typically speaking, right, and I don't want to like overgeneralize, but I do make generalized statements, so y'all forgive me for that. But a lot of times when a woman brings up some shit when everything is peaceful,
it's because you calm. I can have a conversation with you now. You're not heightened. You're not focused on something else. Like, you're at calm. You're at peace. And now I can peacefully talk to you about something that's been bothering me. And you're not already stressed out. You're not tired. And you're chilling.
And what would have sneak attack you in the middle of the night?
Why the fuck does it have to be an attack?
Right.
I'm sorry.
But what would have you do that? Like, right. But what has you doing that? Like, if something is bothering you and the peace is there, why not just let the peace remain? And
because there is a fear or a not want of causing too much, like rocking the boat too much, or a fear of like, I can't bring this up when the nigga is already stressed out, because then he's either not going to receive it, or we don't have the conversation, or it turns into an argument, or he's going to leave. That's the thought process, right? So then have the conversation. I get the mind state of having a conversation, like, oh, he's chilling. He had a good day today. I just fed this nigga. I just fucked this nigga. All right, cool. Babe, so remember 3 days ago?
Yes.
When you did dot.
Yes.
Can we discuss it? Because I feel like right now you're at a point that you can have this conversation.
Yeah, but what's going on inside of you that you can't like just hold off on it?
But until when?
Oh no, I can't. I can't speak for this, because when I got a problem, I'm telling you in the moment, because I don't like my problem. I don't like to go to sleep mad.
Right. Because
if I go to sleep mad, I'm gonna wake up mad, and it turns into a thing.
A spiral.
And then, if too much time has passed between something has happened, I don't want to have the conversation anymore. I completely shut down. So I can't speak to that part, but I understand the mind state of having a conversation with a nigga when he's chilling. Like,
yes, and what it is that for a woman, while he is calm, for us as a woman, that's not absolute peace. Something is still ruminating. Something is still existing in the atmosphere that needs to get addressed. And I cannot really be at peace, nor believe that we're truly at peace, until that element gets addressed.
And even if it's not right now, even if whatever it is was 2 weeks ago,
it's always right now.
A month ago.
So feminine energy is fluid. It's like water. It just constantly flows. There has no beginning and no end. It's constantly moving.
So y'all don't choose violence. The violence chooses you.
It's not violent. It's not violence. It is. So let me ask you this. Let's put perspective in it, right? If there's a fire, right, and I know there's a firefighter around, I'm going to get the firefighter to address this fire. There's an issue there. That is not violence. That's me protecting the house. If there's an issue in our relationship and I bring my man to it because he's the provider, the protector, I'm not choosing violence. I'm bringing something to his attention so that we can be safe.
I love
that is the only reason for it. It's not violence at all. It's actually her loving you. What you want to be afraid of is a woman who's quiet. That means that she's given up on you. That means she doesn't trust you. That means that it's falling on deaf ears. You ain't about to do shit about you. I see you. I recognize you. I've given you chance after chance after chance to figure it out. You're not about to do shit. So you know what? I'm going to just keep it to myself. I'm going to talk about it with my girls because I got to get it out my body. But I'm looking at you like you're not that nigga. You think you that nigga, but you're not that nigga.
At all.
And them girls is going to give you their experiences, which ain't gonna do no good for your relationship.
100%.
Most of the times, women trauma respond. They trauma bond.
Yeah, we do.
So it's like, oh, he's treating you like that.
Right.
This is what happened to me when somebody treated me like that. Bitch, run.
And then
Because these niggas this and these niggas that.
But I also I have a disdain for men that find conversations as problem starting. Like that shit not sexy. Like that shit not appealing. Like I'm in a relationship with somebody that I should be able to have a conversation with.
Because you
I should
don't
be able
realize
to
you're
communicate
triggering me.
with. But I understand that, and as your
You
partner,
don't.
I can understand that it's
You don't.
triggering. So I'm going to wait until you are not heightened, until you are not triggered to try to have a conversation with you. But it's like, every time a woman speaks her feelings or her emotions, it does not have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be a problem. Like, if you're my partner, you're my best friend, you're my person, and I can't fucking talk to you, then nigga, why are you here?
So I agree with you, and I was just, I'm joking when I'm talking about choosing violence, right? But I also understand, and this is from the Gottman Institute part where they were talking about the being critical. Sometimes when you talk to a man about what's wrong, it sounds from the man's point of view like you're always being critical of me, right?
Yes.
So it's okay to communicate and to tell me what's wrong, but the words that you choose and the way that you choose to tell me, there's something called constructive criticism, and then there's something called like what men would consider nagging. So women also have to use tools in those times where you're communicating in an effective way.
Yes.
I
I'm
agree.
actually on a 90-day plan for myself of me looking at everything as much as possible through my partner's point of view. So what was happening for me in the past, when I say past, I mean as past as a week ago, right? Like this is like a new thing that I'm going to try, which is I would hear what he would say, but I would see it through my point of view. So as an example, let's say we're going to be talking about moving, right? And he says, listen, I want to buy a house. I'm thinking through my point of view, all the things I would have to do to get us ready for that. Where is our daughter going to live? What are we going to do? All of these things. I'm not looking at it from his point of view. So in my point of view, my thought process as a woman is, you've neglected to acknowledge that there are 100 moving parts in order for us to make this move successful. I'm hearing the end, but I'm not hearing the process.
Yes. I get that.
Right? And
I've
so
been there. That was one of the arguments we've ever had.
Yes. And it's nerve-wracking as a woman because you're just like, how could you not consider these things? And I have to consider them. So I've decided, you know what, I'm going to start seeing things from his point of view. And that point of view in this context would be, when has he ever been that irresponsible that he wouldn't think about those things? Could it be that he's thought of them, or they're not yet present, but he will take care of it, and I will be okay because I've always been okay, right? As an example. So I've been trying it. So this is what that looks like. So recently, after I declared this and I told him about it, I was like, you're going to hear me agreeing with you a lot more often. I want to let you know why, right? Because I want to try understanding your point of view. We grew up differently. We have different perspectives, and I don't think I've been giving you a lot of credit, and I want to start practicing that. So something happened. I was really triggered about something, and I'm a very generous person, very giving, and I have a really long bandwidth for bullshit. So when that bandwidth gets short and I'm fucking done, it's done. It's beyond done. And I was at that point. And he gave me, and it's a sensitive topic, so I can't really get into detail because it involves my daughter. But nevertheless, he was just like, well, it's for her. So, why don't you try it this way? I was like, you fucking kidding me? It's a co-parenting situation. So me and my partner, we share our daughter, but she's biologically my daughter, but we raise her, and she has her father, and that situation is so toxic. I cannot deal.
Yes.
Wow, you just told me my whole life.
Yes.
We
We have the same life. We have the same life. I cannot deal. So he's encouraging me to be the bigger person yet again, basically, is what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, you fucking kidding? I didn't say that to him like
Yeah,
that. But
get into it.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like
In my
that.
head, I'm like, I know, in no fucking way I'm going to go out of my way yet again. I've done that already. I'm not doing that. I need self-preservation at this point. Went to bed, and he was just like, you know what? You're right. You have done it that way. You know, you're right. I went to bed feeling like, okay, I feel heard. I feel understood. He gets me. I swear to you, I feel like God put something in my veins or something like that. At like 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up like this.
Like the
He was
skeleton.
right. right. I was like, he was right. You know, and I was like, fuck. And I was so upset. And I was like, you know what? All right, I'm going to do it. So I went ahead and said, you know, I'm going to address it the way that he suggested because I'm going to see it from his point of view. Mm-hmm. And then I went back to my man and I was just like, hey, I realized now what you were saying. I slept on it, and I want to apologize for not hearing you out before. But thank you for not taking my anxiety personally. It's just been very frustrating. And, you know, I decided to do what you said, and I did what I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And I want to just say thank you for holding me to my highest. He sent me the corniest emoji I've ever seen, right? Like that he sent. It was a big heart that was like illuminating like this, like all the colors and everything like that. Usually he might send me a hard eyes, you know what I'm saying? But he chose a gift. That's a step. That's a whole other step.
Right.
And so in that moment, I was like, oh, God, you're right. And I realized how many times has my own personal doubts and my insecurities and anxieties made the impression on him that I didn't trust and value his perspective and his capacity to guide us. And so the confidence that I'm looking for him and the leadership that I'm looking from him to like say we should do this, we should do that. Why the fuck would he share his ideas with me if every time he says something, like, I turn around and I be like, but what about this over here? Like, so I've decided to handle this over here, like with my therapist and my coach and shit like that, because I have my own, of course. And stop bringing him all the worries and concerns, because the way he is hearing it is, I don't trust you. You're going to drop something. You're going to forget something. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire of your process. You need to do things my way, because as a woman, I'm thinking about all these other things that you have not yet considered. I am not poking holes in this. I'm showing you that the hole's already there.
Yeah,
I've eliminated that, and I'm watching. I'm gonna see how it plays out. So I'm at like day 20, y'all. So y'all just, you know,
that's a lot. Shit.
Yeah.
I want to tell y'all I am super excited to be on this panel. I think I'm a moderator between the 3 therapists, coaches. I will be helping to pick out people or you know, whatever it may be. Hopefully I get to share some quips on my relationships. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Can we give the location, or it's a secret location?
You can reach out to Ask Miss Cassandra on Instagram. That is AskMsCassandra.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's Ask Miss Cassandra, or you can hit me up Tahoe_TV, and I will send you the link. It's very important that we build.
And there's a promo code for those who are following Tahoe, so you get some coins off of the ticket price. But you have to be there. You have to be at the Love Wins workshop.
Now I want to let y'all know.
It's a Friday.
I want to let y'all know. 10th. Cassandra has lent her skill set to me and Tanae. And she's done a lot of giving to the community. Like, she shows up several times. I've been at events, she showed up. I've seen her doing things, she showed up. I've been out doing something, she's just in the audience. Nigga, she's showing up for the community. She's showing up for men. She's showing up for relationships. Yo, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, we need to support our own, especially when they're trying to do great shit. And especially trying to do dope shit, and they're positive, great individuals. And she's fucking talented. This is not a favor.
No, real shit.
This woman is
I already
talented.
felt your energy, but when I looked at your bio and you said for me, I'm like, fuck. All right, fine. I'm just gonna follow her and like all her shit.
Please reach out to us to AskMsCassandra.
Yes.
Or Tahoe_TV to get the link to come to the Love Wins workshop. Now, this is not something where you're just gonna sit there and watch. This is an interactive event. This is for you. This is something to do with your partner. It's something to do by yourself to figure out how you've been communicating on your own. I don't give a fuck if you're on Hinge, if you're on Field. I don't give a fuck if you're on fucking Plenty of Fish.
Yes.
This is something.
And we're doing live on the spot coaching as well. Right. So we're taking live questions. We're not just, so we decided to do it in such a way we really want to serve those who are coming out. So we're not going to have a lot of pre-scripted stuff. We're going to have activities, but we're going to utilize those activities to help you see how your brain operates in certain situations and stressful situations. And we're also going to take Q&A. So people who are having challenges, we're going to resolve it right then and there. You don't have to walk away guessing what you're going to do in this relationship. You don't have to walk away guessing on how you're going to heal. Your questions are going to get answered on the spot.
Quick question. Is it more geared for singles, couples, or both?
All
Well,
Everybody.
you know why? Because the same principles that apply for singleness will continue to apply even in a relationship. Right?
True.
Like, you're never not working on yourself in your relationship. So, you know, and that's the mistake people make. They pine over a relationship. They get in a relationship and the relationship becomes a distraction. It becomes their focal point of their life. And then they start to watch a lot of their routines begin to dissolve and the things that they used to do dissolve because they don't have a strong self-concept. So you still need to do that even in a relationship. And not for nothing, people who are married swear they want to be single, and people who are single swear they want to be married. You know, so we're just going to share tools that are transferable. It's never going to end. So whether you're single, divorced, in a relationship, you want to bring your partner, you want to come with your girls, you want to come with your guys, definitely come out. And I really want more men in the building. A lot of women are buying the tickets out, but I want to have healthy conversations with men, and that's not a conversation I care to have alone, like by myself. As I'm holding space for men, I really want men to come out, because as women, we need to hear what's going on, and I'm able to, fine tune and support men around expressing themselves and explaining what they mean.
Well, that's how you get the men out. Tell them it's going to be mostly women there.
I know, right?
They're going to pull up.
I know, right? Yes.
Yeah, you can find your next baby mother here. No, I'm just
I
playing.
Jesus.
You might.
Nah, seriously.
You might,
Nah,
for
serious
real.
shit though, my nigga. Like, we were speaking earlier on the live, and she was saying that I don't know how to ask for what I want.
Articulating it.
I don't like. She was saying that the way I communicate with Tanae, I'm really not good at saying exactly what I want. I'm saying you should know.
Yeah.
You treat me like I treat you. You should know. Why don't you know? Whatever. And it's like, yo, everybody doesn't communicate that way. Say what you want. So, in an instance where I say I want a salad, yo, I just want a salad, and she's like, well, all right, whatever, right? So she goes off and gets me a salad. But when she asks for a salad, hey Cassandra,
I want Michelin greens. I want sunflower seeds. I want craisins. I want you to have fresh lemon squeezed on it, balsamic vinaigrette, croutons. I want it chopped up with some feta cheese on it, and that's about it. That's how I want my salad.
I literally won't. I feel like it's not even. I feel like it's too girly to say all that, and that's
I don't
how
know
I
why.
am
Yeah.
in
Sounds
relationships.
kind of condescending. But I
No.
guess it's the way you deliver. Like, am I your fucking butler?
See,
Huh?
You want me to slice the onions?
no, but she said go to the store. She knows
Oh,
exactly
going
what
to the
she
store.
wants.
Okay. Yeah.
She knows exactly
So
what
you
she
can't
wants in
slice
any
onions?
situation.
I'm just saying. I'm
whether
talking about how it
it's
sounds.
love,
I'm not saying I have an issue with it.
whether it's love, whether it's something that she wants to do, she's gonna say, "Hey, this is what I want. This is what I expect. This is what I desire." Right? Whereas me, I'll say, "Oh, you want to go out? All right, let's just go out." Where she's like, "Yo, I want to go roller skating. They have a thing right there, 42nd Street. I want to go there. I think it's between 6 and 9. You know what I'm saying? Whereas me, I'll be like, "Yo, I want to go roller skating," but I won't tell her where I want to go or whatever, and she'll hit it. I'll be like, "Oh, I know they sell out early," but I won't tell her that. So now she's like, "Oh yeah, come on, we'll go." And, "Oh, you didn't get tickets?" They sell out early. Why didn't you call? You didn't know that?
Right.
So now I'm frustrated because why didn't you know that? You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of the way that I communicate in relationships. Now I'm talking about, this is a conversation that I had with Cassandra just passing. This was a passing conversation. This is not her actually doing work with me on learning how to communicate. She's that good. In a moment, you will take away tools that you can use in your relationship. Come
Absolutely.
out February 10th. I'm telling you, yo, if you don't listen to nothing else I say, come out to February 10th. Love
Yes,
Wins
you have to be
workshop.
there.
Do you feel like you've changed?
I think that the way I interpret information from her and people, I think that even if you think of the way I'm communicating with my support staff and my partners on the shows, I think that I'm communicating a little differently.
Cassandra, do you think most men are as open-minded as Tahoe?
Oh my God. Well, the men that come to I don't have one single guy client that came to me because his girl sicked him on me. All my men clients have come to me on their own, by their own will. So they're all very willing and all very appreciative. And those who are married, they feel like the man, they feel like they're not triggered in their relationship because they now understand what's going on, so they know how to triage.
I got another. I'm sorry for the questions. So I feel like there's a lot of men that probably could get a lot of value from talking to somebody like you or a therapist, and the ones that really need it the most are the ones that are not seeking that from you, and they're not open-minded. Like, what do you do? Is there anything as a community we could do to our friends that kind of like don't go to therapy, don't talk to life coaches, but they the ones that really need it the most? Like,
the only people that need coaching and therapy are the ones that want it. That is it.
Okay.
If somebody perceives that they don't want or don't need it, then they don't, because they're not going to do the work.
You're not ready for that.
Yeah.
True.
When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if it doesn't organically come up to them in their life, leave their ass alone.
Wow.
Because
Right,
they're about to drive the coach crazy and themselves fucking crazy. Like, well, I'm not going to let nobody, I'll drive my client crazy before they drive me crazy. But you're not ready, right? Like, there are certain things that I don't tell my clients because they're not ready yet. And when they have that shift, and I'm like, now you're ready for this conversation. I'm going to peel back this layer and show you exactly what happened. And they're like, oh shit, this shit is fucking working. I'm like, yeah, it fucking works. How does it feel? He's like, I felt like the man. And I'm like, he's like, yo, you're the GOAT. And I'm like, nah, you the GOAT. Like, you over here actually doing the shit. And whatever your wife is struggling with, you're not absorbing that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're able to function and live and feel like you're doing what you need to do. And, you know, like I mentioned on my live, I had another client of mine. He was experiencing homelessness. When we started to work together, he was living out of his car, and then he lost his car. He had a job, but he was making bad decisions. And in 6 months, you know, like about 2 to 3 months, he ended up getting his car, getting on his feet. And then like last month, he sent me a video of him in his brand new home. Nice. I'm like, how the fuck you got your, like, what? And he was like, I didn't believe that I was a leader until you pointed out where I was. And I just started to make the steps, and now I have my house.
I have a question, but I think I'm gonna ask it off air, and
Yes,
I don't know if it's like a Patreon thing, but I want to ask it off air.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because Trom already mentioned that we need to do a Patreon for his part of this. So what I would like to ask is that we end the episode here, and that we record something at a later date on Zoom because it's freezing outside. She needs to get home. I'm pretty sure you still have to get the fucking cross to your fucking ghetto over there.
I live in a ghetto.
And this guy's driving a bike.
I live in a ghetto.
Jersey.
I live in Jersey City.
I don't care.
I live in a ghetto.
I live in Brooklyn.
I was gonna say something unnecessary.
Exactly. Disrespect your
I was about to be very
heritage.
disrespectful because you be fucking with
Disrespect your
me.
heritage.
No, I was about to disrespect your house.
What do what you got to do, baby. Do what you got to do. You ain't
fight?
nothing but greens.
I feel like
around.
the dog in Coming to America.
It's nothing but greens around. You know
Do you
want to
fight?
Listen,
Because if you want to fight, we can fight.
you can have as much fun with it as you want. Okay.
I don't feel like arguing.
You guys, look at Tonio. Tonio B is
Ghetto.
ghetto.
Right, like I live in a ghetto. Me and my nigga, we doing okay.
I want to say that I love you guys. We did record part 1 already, and it is now part 2, and it was sensational.
This is part 2.
This is
Right,
part 1.
that's what he said.
This is part 1.
This is
You gotta follow what he said.
this is what? What did you say?
We recorded part one already, but it is now part 2.
But this is part 1.
Right, what you're listening to now is going to
You
be.
just said this is part 2.
No, but I fucked up. But I'm saying now this is part 1.
Yes, this is now part
Basically,
1.
we switched it. We did the swap.
I want to say I'm hoping to see male, female. I'm also proud of you so much. Everything that you're doing. I'm hoping to see you guys next Friday. I don't know when we're gonna record. So Shameless, I know that's
I just
coming
thought
up in
about
the air.
that, and I'm like,
Are you guys coming out to the workshop? Yes.
Babe, can we go to the workshop next
Yes.
Friday?
Trom, are you coming? Yes. And I will see you guys there. If not, I will see you guys in part 1. of this week's episode. What, Melly? You have something to say?
This is part 1.
No, this is so shameless.
All right. Whatever.
Confusing me.
Yo, like I'm with you, Melly.
I follow you, Tahoe.
But you said in part. But this is part 1. So why would
I
you
see
say
in
you're
part
going to
2.
see them in part 1 if you're going to see them in part 2?
Because we recorded part 1 already, but it's now going to be part 2. So he's still referring to it as part 1.
I'm fucking around with it. I'm really playing with it.
Why?
Why are you confusing it? Just chill.
I have a question.
I said I recorded part 1, which is now
Go
part
for it. What's
2.
your question?
Mm-hmm.
So
I know that you work with
I thought we was
men.
doing this on Zoom.
No, this has nothing to. Leave me alone. I know that you work with men. I want to know if there are.
That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey, I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take a girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at these hoes like she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass be poking. I'm sitting in the front cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.